Right, so here we go with the new battery. So this is Lake Elterwater on the eastern coast as we're going towards Kaikoura. And that's just a shot of when we came out onto the seafront. These here are the Kaikoura mountains. Beautiful. They're lovely with snow, but you'll see that later. So this is where we stayed in Kaikoura. It's out of town a little bit, about 5 kilometres near the golf course. Lovely place. Lots of trees, lots of bird life, and we had booked a little studio unit, but we ended up, when we got there, changing to a 1-bedroom, which just gave us a bit more space. Really lovely. Yeah, really lovely. Called the Apartments in Kaikoura. On our second day there, we did a trip with the Whale Watch company on their big catamaran. That's the captain there. We paid a bit extra and we were in what they call the captain's cabin, where there's 12 big plush airline type seats, so you get a good view. Everyone's got a seat, and the seat's 12, but there was only 4 of us in there, so it was lovely. And lunch is provided there as well. You can see the seats and stuff, and that's the other couple on the right there. So we've got a TV screen with things, and you can hear the captain talking to the planes overhead, which are spotting for the whales. It was a bit cloudy and overcast, but that didn't matter. This is the lunch that we got. You each get a boxed lunch. Very nice. Now, here's one of the whales. They were sperm whales, and they came really close to the boat. You could hear their breathing and see the plume coming up from their spout, or whatever you call it. That's him coming there. And you can just see if you look carefully, you can see the plume where he's breathing coming out of the water there. Amazing creatures. We saw lots of dolphins as well. Really recommend it. It was great. There's some of the dolphins there. As you can see, it's pretty calm. Then after we did the tour on the boat, we went down the coast a little bit and saw this chap sunning himself and posing for the camera. There's quite a lot of seals around on the rocks there. And this is a bit fuzzy, but this was taken from the shore, and you can see there was a big pod of dolphins jumping up and down, and yeah, just amazing. The thingies there are some of the plants on the shore. I couldn't get them out of the picture, but it was worth it to get the dolphins. Now, we woke up on our second to last or last morning in Kaikoura, and guess what? It had snowed overnight, and this is the view from our apartment, our motel. Really lovely. This is the road heading south. The State Highway 1 follows the coast a lot of the way, and the railway line does too. This is the railway tunnel here, and then the road tunnel. There's 2 one-way tunnels. It's quite freaky, but you get used to it. That's us about to go into it. This is just a view we were heading towards Lewis Pass and Murchison for our next stage. Just beautiful with all the autumn colours. Really lovely. Yeah, I just couldn't help but take lots of photos of the trees in their autumn splendour. It just looked lovely. This is another lot of toilets we found in Greta Valley, near the turn-off to Highway 7 over Lewis Pass. We were really impressed with the rest areas and toilets in the South Island. Just great. Lots of funny, well, I shouldn't say funny, but one-way bridges. Some of them with the cover thingy over, like this one, some not. Just took our fancy. Beautiful bush, lots of beech trees. This is a roadside stop we found towards Lewis Pass. That's my lovely husband getting our morning coffee ready. We always fill up the thermos in the morning and stop wherever it takes our fancy. Once again, you can, even though there's a bit of graffiti on them, you can see the concrete tables and bench seats. Just great. This is when we were nearly at Murchison, so we were going over Lewis Pass. So we're 460 metres elevation there. Lovely piece of road. So we stopped at Murchison for 2 or 3 nights, and why we stopped there was because Hamish wanted to try gold panning. So about 20 odd kilometres, 25 kilometres from Murchison is this little place called Lisle, and there's really nothing there now. But back in the day, it was a huge area for gold mining. So now they've got sort of a recreation area, some toilets, and there's lots of mountain bike and walking trails around there. And in behind down here is a little creek where you can pan for gold. There's not that many areas in New Zealand where you can legally pan for gold, but this is one of them. So this is where we parked, and then this is the walk and trail area. You can see the beautiful beech trees and the sign about gold fossicking. So that just tells you the rules, which of course we followed. And this is a weka. They're a protected bird. They're sort of about the size of a domestic chook, and they're very nosy. They're not scared of you. They've got very strong looking legs, and there's quite a lot of them all around the South Island. So this one was very interested in our lunch. Yeah, quite nice birds. They don't fly, they're flightless. This is a South Island robin. We were very impressed with him. He was on the ground just below our table where we were having lunch in the rest area at Lisle. Beautiful looking bird, really long legs. This is just some of the scenery on the road going between Lisle and Murchison, just really beautiful forest. Another one-lane bridge coming up. As you can see, we've still got beautiful weather. We were just so lucky with the weather. Another one-lane bridge. Getting closer to the one-lane bridge. And there we are, about to go over it. Going over it, in fact. Now, this is the gold pan with the gold that Hamish found at Lisle. You can see a few little flakes here and there, and all down there. It was quite exciting. Didn't become millionaires, but he really enjoyed doing it. That's him there ready to go and do his fossicking. Prepared, we'd bought the pan before we came down. He put his gumboots, and it was fairly cool, but he's got longs on because there's lots of sandflies that love biting humans. This is me having our lunch after Hamish had done some gold panning in the morning. This is the river where he did the panning. Once again, beautiful trees and beautiful bush ferns, trees, just lovely. And this is one of the wekas who was very keen to see what was on offer for lunch. Of course, we didn't feed him. The road again, just lovely, beautiful, beautiful country. This was after we'd left Westport. There was some rain in the air, one of the very few days we had any rain, and this rainbow just really struck us. And this is on the way down the west coast. It had started to rain a bit by here. You can see it's very cloudy and sort of drizzly. The west coast gets metres and metres of rain per year, so you're really lucky if you get down there when it's fine. These are all taken from inside the car, by the way, as you can probably gather. Just beautiful bush all along the road, just lovely. Yeah, and all the ferns and the punga trees. These here are the punga trees, for those who might watch this from overseas and not know. They're like a tree fern. They're native to New Zealand. They're just beautiful. And amazing rock formations, just so steep, rugged, just, yeah, really beautiful in their own way. Another bit of the road, you can see you go down a dip and then come out again on the other side. Lots of flaxes, there'd be tuis everywhere. They're a native bird, for those who don't know. yeah, there'd be tuis everywhere when the flowers are out, and you can just see the road snaking up here as well. So we stayed, after we'd stayed a night in Westport, we stayed a night in Greymouth, and we found this replica they'd made of what they built in the war, like a hide here, for the machine guns to go in to keep an eye on the water for submarines, because the Japanese came right down to New Zealand in submarines, and yeah, we're very lucky we weren't overrun. But anyway, thank you to all our brave soldiers and sailors who looked after us. And this is what you can see from out the little windows in the hide. This was a lovely sunset from down at Greymouth. Just thought it was lovely. And this is now leaving Greymouth and heading down towards Franz Josef Glacier. Little bit of snow on the mountains, one beautiful forests. Once again, you can see we had great weather. We stopped at a little rest area at one of the lakes on the west coast. Just beautiful drive in from the main road. This is just south of Hokitika, Mahinapua. Really beautiful place. We spent a couple of hours there. Saw some beautiful birds. That's a fantail. And this is the rest area where we stopped. Some tables and chairs. Just lovely. Just really, really beautiful. Another view of a fantail. We stopped at a little place called Ross where you can do gold panning, and it's all undercover, so if it's cold and wet it doesn't matter. So we had a go at doing that and got a few more flakes. Then we headed towards Franz Josef where we were staying the next night. Once again, look at that sky, just lovely. Beautiful piece of road. Yet another one-lane bridge. When we got to Franz Josef, we went to the Waiau River, and Hamish decided he'd try his hand at gold fossicking again. So it was quite cold, and the water was really fast flowing and very cold, apparently. I didn't venture in. So this is him about to start with his little gold pan and trowel. This is the view from our motel at Franz Josef of a sunset. Really, really lovely. Just beautiful. And this is here is the Franz Josef Glacier. You can see the blue sky. Just the weather we had was amazing. So this is really lovely. This is from down towards the base of it. We didn't walk up to it because it's really rough, and I'd probably fall over and break my neck, but you can go up there and you can walk on the glacier itself if you go with guides. Well, you can go without them, but you'd be a bit silly because there's crevasses and things. But it's a real tourist place, and it has you can take a helicopter and land on the glacier, or you can walk up to it, whatever. But it's beautiful, beautiful scenery. And this is a lake we found just south of Franz Josef. Just north of it, a little picnic area again with a toilet, and it was quite eerie because it was sort of like fog, and it was very still, and the reflection on the water was just lovely. And then, as you can see, the fog's clearing away to give us blue sky. That's the little table and bench seats we sat at and had our coffee. And that was I think that was a tomtit. He was a lovely little bird. We went to a place called Okarito, which is where they've got a white heron sanctuary, and we just had a little drive around because we'd never been there before. And there's a grass airfield that apparently some of the locals people have got houses there that they fly in and out. So it's just sitting there with some tyres to mark the runway. There's some people with horses there. It just took my fancy that there's this airfield in the middle of nowhere on the coast. There you can see the runway marked out with the white tyres. This is just a view of the Okarito Lagoon. just lovely. This was at Franz Joseph filling up with gas, and Hamish was cleaning the windscreen. I'm not quite sure what tickled his fancy, but something was funny. But he does a good job of it. And this is leaving Franz Joseph in the morning to head to Mount Cook. You can see how beautiful it is. And who said there were no mowers left in New Zealand, eh? That's just out of Franz Joseph. So that is the end of part 1. Well, it's actually turned out to be part 2 because of the battery going. So I'll stop here, and if you are enjoying it, we'll have the second half of our holiday, part 3, coming up shortly.